Crypto millionaires are building their own tax-free paradises in Central America. The locals are dissatisfied. While the country calls on President Joe Biden to raise taxes on the wealthy, cryptocurrency millionaires are establishing their own tax-free havens in Central America. The freedom from taxes and regulations is the allure of establishing small crypto-backed utopias in Latin America. The Free Private Cities Foundation, a company that promotes the idea of voluntary, contract-based societies and supports the development of private cities all over the world, is at the forefront of this movement. Their slogan is "Private governance is the future of governance." The Free Private Cities Foundation, founded by Dr. Titus Giebel, has encouraged the Salvadoran government to place its impending Bitcoin city in corporate hands, allowing the city to be governed by the private sector, according to MIT Tech Review. El Salvador's proposal for a geothermally powered Bitcoin city at the base of a volcano is just the tip of the iceberg for tax-free economic zones being pitched to various countries around the world. Extending beyond El Salvador. Giebel's company, which hopes to create multiple international prosperity zones, is also floating the idea of privatized cities overseen by corporations in Brazil. Furthermore, the Free Private Cities Foundation has its sights set on Honduras. According to the Peace Brigade's International Honduras, Honduras has three main ZEEDs, zones of economic development and employment, called Ciudad Morazán, Orquídea, and Próspera, following an amendment to their constitution in 2013 that allowed special zones managed by companies. According to NACALA.org, ZEEDs are economic zones that are independently governed by corporations and are commonly referred to as free private cities. Jamilia Greer, founder and CEO of ByteBao, a legal consulting firm in the Web3 industry, is skeptical of the ZEEDs' ability to function as private cities. It's like a perfect storm of political, economic, and, really, physical infrastructure in terms of building a city. How are those governed? Greer told Fortune in an interview. So, what does it mean to be privately governed by a ZEED? That is what private governance entails. According to a report from the National Lawyers Guild, NLG, Delegation Investigation of ZEEDs in Honduras, the privatized city-states exist independently from the legal, administrative, and social systems of the Honduran state. According to the Federal News Network, this means that ZEEDs are not required to pay import or export taxes and are free to establish their own forms of government, schools, courts, and social security systems. With such a lack of oversight, some critics worry that ZEEDs will become private havens for criminal activity. If you were to establish one of these cities within a country, what agreement do you have with the country that this particular area is exempt from taxation? Greer inquired. There would have to be a surrender of rights from the sovereign nation in order to create this specific tax-free zone that they're proposing. How do ZEEDs benefit the local community? Even if ZEEDs cede political sovereignty to foreign corporations, the Free Private Cities Foundation believes they are creating safe havens in one of the world's most violent countries. According to Statista, Honduras was second only to El Salvador in homicides last year, and the country also has the highest femicide rate in the world. On March 15, the Free Private Cities Foundation announced the ongoing development of Morazán, a blue-collar ZEED where residents can avoid structural issues that plague Hondurans in everyday life, such as exorbitant violence. Morazán will also have housing zones for 9,000 people, commercial spaces, schools, parks, and an industrial zone. According to the March statement, Morazán is a community designed to encourage entrepreneurship. The first commercial tenants have already arrived. Tenants choose to enter voluntary contracts that spell out their rights and responsibilities so they can be certain that the rules will not be changed on them. Citizens of Zeeds enter into contracts with private corporations in exchange for living in safer communities and, ideally, having a secure refuge from high crime rates. Locals could be displaced. While the creators of Zeeds promote the idea of higher living standards for locals, the benefits may be overstated. Despite the fact that Zeeds are marketed as sources of employment in Honduras, where over 60% of the population lives in poverty, when one of the country's three main Zeeds, Prospera, was built on the Honduran island of Roatan, the majority of construction jobs were outsourced rather than offered to native Hondurans. According to economist Carlos Abitso Solis, the Zeeds tax benefits will widen Honduras' already stark income inequality and benefit only a select few, rather than bringing prosperity to the local citizens. Locals are watching as corporations encroach on their lands as the government accepts foreign investments for the creation of Zeeds. Critics have pointed out that the areas designated for Zeed construction are ancestral lands in the Garifuna region, which has been inhabited for thousands of years by indigenous people. As a result, the construction of Zeeds would result in mass evictions of the indigenous population. Many Hondurans are opposed to the existence of Zeeds, citing issues such as the sale of private territories and lands, as well as an increase in poverty rates. And, because Zeeds are self-governing jurisdictions with their own laws, they have complete control over the criminal justice system. "We are witnessing a new era of rapid technological innovation," said Ryan Hunter, CEO of Crypto Cannabis Club, in an interview with Fortune. "Some of these innovations will be successful, while others will fail, but they will provide valuable insights to enable future growth. I believe it is too early to tell about crypto cities, but I admire the entrepreneurial spirit and innovation that this movement represents."